Fires can make a big difference in your home. And the latest trends in family vacations. But first, a comedy competition is coming to town today on INSiGHT.
Do you live on a fixed income? Has the cost of medical treatment and prescription drugs become more than you can afford? Maybe you're behind on your bills. There is hope. The law allows you to eliminate your debt and save your property. The call and consultation are free. Immediately end calls from your creditors. Save your property and keep your dignity.
Call 424-0954. Glazer and Ebbs. Right.
Not enough credit. No! Denied.
Ooh, that felt good.
Are you ready to unbank your life? Stop into Fort Financial Credit Union today.
We're here at Snickers talking to Mike Moses of Mike Moses Presents to talk about an upcoming show. Hi, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Good. Well, tell us about the show that happens on Wednesday night.
The show on Wednesday night is called the Pro Amateur Comedy Showcase, and that's where we have working comics or up-and-coming comics come out and compete for MC division if they're the ones that's been in open mic but they've been successful across the Midwest. And then we have a feature division. The feature division is where they're already paid comics and they're either MCs at other clubs in the Midwest or they've been features in other clubs and they're just trying to get seen at Snickers or by industry insiders. We're going to have a comic as one of the judges. We'll have some bookers from other clubs, and then we'll also have either the club manager here, the owner, or the club booker here, so they'll get a chance to showcase. So we've got eight contestants in this first show that's going to take place at 7:30 on Wednesday. And we've got Stu McAllister, who's the house MC for Dr. Grins up in Grand Rapids. We have Marcus Bunn, who's a feature and also the house MC at Crackers Comedy Clubs in Indianapolis. And then we have Jason Dixie, who's local here, who has MC'd here at Snickers before. He's also acted in some films, most notably in The Company of Men. And he also features in different venues across. And then we have our 5 contestants. 2 are from South Bend, which are formerly from the Funny Bone up in South Bend. 2 are from Crackers in Indianapolis, and then 1 is a local guy here that goes to school at IPFW, I believe. He went to school at Snyder, so he's going to come in and try to do some, get noticed and do more here. So that's what we're looking forward to. In addition to that, here at the club here at Snickers, they can also call for the nights that we don't do night shift. They can call and talk to the club manager and do a free open mic with one of the 2 or 3 slots that they have open on those weeks, but they need to work that out with the club manager and all that. So a little bit different than what some of the other clubs do. I mean, Snickers is really good because when they do their open mics, it's not a bringer show. And a bringer show is one of those where you have to commit to bringing 5 people. Well, that's great if you live in that town, but if you're from out of town and you don't know anyone and you don't have a name out there, it's very difficult to bring 5 people. You get there, maybe you brought 3 people and you've traveled 3 hours. Well, guess what? You typically don't get to perform.
Now, if someone were interested in trying their hand at performing as a comedian, obviously it's a little too late for this particular show, but for the next one in November, how would they go about contacting you and getting involved?
Well, they can contact me at the website, which is Mike Moses Presents, and yes, that presents is plural.com. And then they also can call me at 260-804-7834. When they contact me, I'll ask them several questions as far as if they've ever performed before and ask if they have any YouTube video or anything like that, or I would even ask for different references. Again, we don't want to try to have this show where we have 9 people in it that doesn't have any experience, and then they come out here and we present it to the public, and the public has been put to sleep. So we do want folks that have at least done some open mic at a real comedy club and have advanced where they can MC or, if they're features and they're ready to move to that next level. So we want to have a good quality and entertaining show.
All right, so even though it's amateur, you want to make sure that the audience is entertained at least a little bit during this.
And again, that's why we're calling it pro amateur, because remember, the professionals are really the MCs that's working every week. They featured in other places. They just don't feature all the time. So they're more of our professional. But then you have those that have open mics and they travel all the time and they're just about ready to get booked, but they're ready to do the MC work. So it's really moving up the next level instead of being just at that open mic level. They're open micers ready to MC and MCs that's ready to feature.
Well, I had no idea there were so many tiers to being a comedian.
We didn't even talk about headliners. We didn't even talk about that. The other thing that we do is I also get into the spoken word aspects and poetry, which we have a show on here in Fort Wayne on Saturday, Saturday, November 13th, and we're bringing in the top poet in the nation. He's going to be at Shooter's Bar and Grill out on Bluffton Road. But he won Album of the Year, and he travels the world. So there's some places here in Fort Wayne that's experimenting with spoken word poetry. We're actually going to bring a professional to this doing, and then also again open it up to local poets so that they'll have an opportunity to work that same stage with the big name poets, so that we can all grow. But the whole idea for the community is that we can get people from the outside communities to come to Fort Wayne, visit our venues, use our hotels, eat at our restaurants, and then also with the school-age kids and the college students, showing them that there is a vibrant nightlife in Fort Wayne. So there's a whole lot
now
of
spoken word poetry, kind of give us something to expect with that, because when I think of spoken word poetry, I kind of think of the beatnik era where people would sit in a coffee house and snap their fingers when someone said a poem.
It will be some like that, and then there's some that if you saw the movie Love Jones, that was based in Chicago, you'll have that. It's got some melody to it. Some of it don't. Some of it's just from the heart. But the poetry, the spoken word poetry that we're looking at, same like comedy, it has to be entertaining, it has to be moving. Just because your dog died and you just felt moved to write, it doesn't mean it's going to entertain everyone. While that might be nice for you to express, that's not the avenue we're looking at. So you can go to my Facebook page, Mike Moses Presents, and you'll see Talam Acius, the gentleman that I'm bringing, and you can see how he moves the audience. So kind of hard to explain, but you've really got to experience it to see it. There's a lot of that like that. You know where the snap came from, right?
No, where?
In New York, in the coffee houses, they were downstairs, and there were residents living above, so they couldn't clap. So the polite thing to do if you really like someone is snap your fingers. So that's where that came from when you think of the beatnik.
Well, we've learned something today. That's great.
Absolutely. The last part to the whole Mike Moses Presents concept is we also have a lot of local, I shouldn't say local, but regional jazz and blues, neo-soul performers, and we give them a stage as well. We have a lot of rock and roll venues here, country and hip-hop. We look at the alternative music formats in Fort Wayne. Again, the whole idea is that the folks that's watching TV today don't have to drive to Chicago, Indianapolis, or Detroit to see these type of artists, and we're bringing high caliber artists to the city of Fort Wayne.
Well, it was great talking to you, Mike. Give us a recap one more time about the show on Wednesday, October 27th.
Wednesday is our kickoff show, the inaugural Mike Moses Presents Pro Amateur Comedy Showcase. We're bringing 3 comics for the feature division and 5 in the MC division. The top feature will win $100. The top MC will win $50, and it's going to be a great time. So
And what time does the show start at Snickers?
it's 7:30. Doors open at 6:30.
Your mornings need a routine that keeps you in the loop, gets you out the door and on your way. Start your day waking up with friends on Indiana's News Center today on 21 Alive with Brian, Elijah, and Mary Collins. Updated news you and your family rely on to plan the day, along with Jeff Bowman live around town and Chris Daniels' 5-year forecast. Be in the know and on your way with Brian and Mary. Wake up with friends. Indiana's News Center today on 21 Alive. Weekday mornings beginning at 5.
Everyone loves our $10 any pizza deal so much.
We're lowering the price of every pizza on the menu. A large pizza with up to 3 toppings is just $10.
Every pizza at a great price, every day.
Now lower prices, only at your Pizza Hut.
Go to Docs on Call on INCNow.tv for information on a variety of health-related concerns. You'll find schedule and topic information, and you can even ask a question. Then watch for the answers on Docs on Call, Tuesday at 7:30 on 21 Alive.
Who's there? Shoppertunity! Not Just Decks is not kidding about saving you money. Save 10% off any Not Just Decks service. Just book by November 30th, no matter when the project is actually done. Save 10% now. Call Not Just Decks. Never miss a Shoppertunity. Click on the INSiGHT tab of INCNow.tv.
This is a strawberry Pop-Tart, but this is a warm, fresh-baked strawberry toaster strudel. See the difference? Pillsbury Toaster Strudel, the one kids want to eat.
There's nothing we love more than listening to our favorite song.
more than listening to our favorite songs.
But our favorite thing is eating Totino's pizza
But our
rolls.
favorite thing is eating Totino's pizza rolls.
Why are these guys sabotaging their weight loss?
It's still a game.
Tonight, the best place to fight back is on the scale.
Thriving, that's fighting.
All right.
New Biggest Loser, tonight at 8, 7 Central on NBC.
I missed you.
Missed you too.
When you finally found the one.
She's great, right? She's perfect.
You just know.
I don't want to live without you. Will you marry me?
But does she know, too? New Parenthood, tonight 10, 9 Central, here on NBC.
We're at Collier's Heating and Air to talk to Todd Zeppelin today about humidifiers. Hey Todd, how are you today?
Good.
Now, what is the importance of a humidifier in the home?
Well, here in northeast Indiana, some homes need humidity and some homes don't, but most of them will in the months of January and February for sure, and sometimes in March, depending on the weather.
Now, how does having higher humidity or lower humidity in the house affect a person's health, for example?
Well, a person's health, they could get sore throats, nosebleeds, itchy skin. You want to maintain somewhere close to 30%, but you also don't want moisture on the windows in the winter, inside your house, to rot out your windows.
Now, Todd, when we're talking humidifiers, immediately what pops into my head is those ones you buy at a convenience store that sit on the nightstand, but that's not what these humidifiers are all about, is it?
Well, here at Collier's, we use central whole house humidifiers that mount right on your furnace, and they use the blower and the ductwork that's already in your house to deliver humidity in your house. So there's no mist or residue buildup on any furniture close to that portable humidifier. That's the old days where you can get those at the local hardware store. But the whole house central humidifiers mount right on the furnace ductwork.
Now, those have the option of adjusting the humidity levels. Do you do that via traditional thermostat type unit, or how does that work?
Well, they're called humidistats, so they're kind of like thermostats. But then you can dial in the relative humidity that you want in your home, and it'll never go below that. It'll always turn on and deliver that humidity. But we also have humidifiers that we would call an auto track system, which tracks the outdoor air temperature versus the indoor air temperature, and then it regulates the humidity required in your home so you don't have moisture buildup on your windows.
Now, Todd, humidity can also affect the structural integrity of your home, too. Can you explain that?
Well, that's a good question. A lot of people will notice their doors not opening and closing properly, or they notice their woodwork's kind of shrinking and the paint's cracking, or they can see the non-stainable part. But that's because the humidity's dropping in the winter and they don't have enough for their house to stay in the same size, I guess you can say, because when the humidity lowers, all woodwork will shrink a little bit. So it'll crack paint, make doors open and close differently. So people will notice that. That's another really good reason for a humidifier during the winter in a home.
Well, can either too much or too little of humidity also affect your drywall?
Yeah, you'll see nails popping, cracks in the drywall where the corner molding. A lot of that happens at the ceilings if the humidity gets too low in the winter, and then during the summer it gets too high. The drywall will really start cracking and popping nails, and that also affects that. I mean, a lot of people don't know why, but it all has to do with humidity in the home.
Now, do you see a variance in newer construction as opposed to older construction having a higher need for these? Are insulation techniques improved so much where there's either more of a need or less of a need for a humidifier in the home?
Well, it all depends on the builder and the custom home builder.